So I got something special for you guys today. I just beat this game yesterday. It's a game outside my comfort zone. It's hype as hell, but it just so happens to be literally, and I mean this in the literal term, right? Not the new modern term. It's literally the worst video game I've ever played in my whole entire life.
All right.
And it's hype as hell. So, oh, such a disappointment. You guys ever heard of Doki Doki Literature Club?
No. Heard of Doki Doki before. What's Literature Club?
An anime weeb girl simulator something. Leo, go.
Oh boy, that it is not. It's the most condescending, disrespectful, postmodern, edgy wannabe video game you'll ever play. Man, I used to have a bone to pick with Undertale. This game completely dethroned Undertale. It's not even the game itself, it's the fan base. This one is the game. The game, it's so freaking disrespectful, and I guess I'm not big brain enough. I don't watch enough Rick and Morty, so probably I missed what was so important about that game. But it doesn't earn anything that it does. Everything that it tries to accomplish, to what I think makes people go like, "Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that." Like the rug pull is just for the rug pull in itself. It doesn't earn it. So, without spoiling anything here, which by the way is how people get away with it. Oh my god, this game is amazing, so great. Why is it amazing? I can't tell you because I would spoil it for you.
Oh.
No, you can't tell me because coherently you cannot make a case for that game. It doesn't earn its spots. So like when it does the rug pull, when you go like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. Like, well, I also don't care because the whole time I was paying attention to A, and then you did this with B, which is shocking, but I don't care because my attention was on A the whole time. And then after that, it starts being super condescending on top of it, like, oh, so you like playing games, huh? Oh, so you like watching this, huh? Oh, you must be this. You must think that way. You must think that way. Meanwhile, yeah, you I guess you do have the higher ground because I did spend money to buy your game, so I paid you, asshole.
Wait, but I'm so confused. What is this game?
It's a visual novel, okay? As visual novels as it can be. And it deconstructs what a visual novel is. But not only deconstructs what a visual novel is, what a person who plays visual novels is. What are they trying to accomplish with this? Don't you see how shallow these type of games are? They just show up and then it explains to you what their tropes are, by the way. It explains to you what a tsundere is and or what kind of other protagonists are in these games. And then it tries to make you feel bad about it. And then it tries to be cool and edgy because it flips the game on its head. But it really doesn't because the writing is awful. So if you're at least being witty, interesting about it, but it's boring. That's the worst part. It's boring as hell. It doesn't earn your attention. You know, like when somebody's lecturing you, but they actually give you an insight. They tell you something new, something interesting that you didn't know before. Like, you know, blowing your mind. No, this game is being condescending with bullshit. Like, dude, get off this high horse. You don't earn it at all. You did not earn this. And then I guess the whole point is just drags you through this mud. But because it touches on some very specific aspects that I guess teenagers can deal with or see in their normal lives, I guess they see this as being so cool and important and different. And I guess I'm much older than most people, but it doesn't earn it. My biggest issue with this, it doesn't earn it at all. It's just. Go ahead.
What kind of subjects does it touch on? Or is that spoiling the game?
That would be spoiled. That'd be spoiled.
Yeah, see, but
I'm not gonna play it. I don't give a shit.
I hate this part because everybody praises this because of this stuff, right? And I guess that's what. If it wasn't for the stuff that happens, the rug pulls, nobody would be talking about these games, right? You know what happened with the end of Game of Thrones? That everybody got pissed, and when they talked about to the authors, then they said, "Oh, the main thing was because it was subverting expectations."
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, "Well, I don't care that you subvert expectations. You didn't earn it, right? You didn't build up to that. That person should not be the one who killed such and such place because she was never there to begin with. She was, the hero, she wasn't part of the hero arc. She doesn't earn that moment. You just gave it to her so that we were expecting Spencer to do something. Spencer worked out. Spencer played college football, and today is the draft. Oh, we're gonna draft majority because today we're drafting people
Hey!
who are Q or something. Look at that.
Good job, Daddy.
Pretty much that. It's just for the shock value of it.
Didn't earn my
Wars
place
Episode
though. So
Star Wars Episode 8. That's what I
I wanted to bring that up over here because and I did my due diligence. Anytime I want to pick a game apart, I played that shit out of the game. I did all the side quests. I went for the true ending. I did everything that the game had to offer, more than the people that I know who enjoy the game did themselves. Right, the people that my friends who actually got me to play this game because they play more visual novels, they did less than what I did. I was looking for something new to broaden my horizons to understand why it is so special.
Well, you were looking to see why visual novels were so special, or why this game was so special?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Like Alex and DMP, they play a ton of visual novels. Which, by the way, I used to make fun of them because some of them like 40, 50, 60, 80 hours long. Now I understand why they need to be long. It's got to be like a book. They have to earn your respect. They have to earn your attention. They have to make you care about the characters.
Mm-hmm.
If I give you a character in 15 minutes and you don't care about that character and I do something edgy or unexpected with that character, you're not going to care about it, right? And that's pretty much what happens in this game all over the place.
So then how long was this game that you played that was just miserable the whole way through?
So, I don't know if you've played many visual novels before. The thing about visual novels is that you can't just play them once, right? So you do one route, and then you learn things about that route, and then you go do a second route, and you make different choices based on what you learned before, so on and so forth. This one you could save scum it and do different routes. But since I was being honest, right, I was trying to like this thing.
Yeah.
I was reading everything, doing everything
no.
it was offering. So it took a little bit longer, but it's not that long because I played and beat the game yesterday from beginning to end. I did spend several hours in it. So I must have put yesterday alone probably 8 hours plus in that game. A lot of the side content and everything. So it's one of those things that keep unlocking after you beat it. The more scenes you do, the more people you talk to, the choice you make, you unlock newer stuff within the game. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, it did not work out for me very much, as you guys can tell here.
Ugh.
I do not know. Now, here's the fun part. Because I did the same with some of the games that are super hyped, I think everybody should play them to have an intelligent opinion about it. But I really want to see someone talking about this game in a positive light, but explaining why. A full spoiler review of it, or why this thing works for them. Not because I want to fight with them or disagree. I just want to understand. That's all there is to it. And nobody owes me that. It's YouTube. It's just on a personal level. Like when I talk about games on my channel, when I bring it up, I tell you why I like something, right? Most of you guys probably know I really enjoy gameplay. When I say that a game has good gameplay, I describe the gameplay. You probably don't even care about the story most of the time, but at least if you're listening to me, you're gonna know that if I said that game has good gameplay, it probably does, based on the amount of games that I played. And then if you watch enough, if you like Metroidvanias, action platforming, 3D shoot or so on and so forth, you probably say, well, if it works for him, probably gonna work for me, and I substantiate it. Now, everybody loves this game, but they can't tell you why because it's spoiler territory.
Yeah, fuck that.
did you feel the most condescended at? Like I know you don't want to spoil things, but like
Literally,
I mean,
it is deliberately condescending to you. He looks at you in the face and he says, "Oh, you play visual novels, huh? Those games that you show up and the girls automatically are in love with you. Do you think girls like that exist in the real world? You should go outside a little bit and touch grass, buddy." Literally, well, no, in this case, not literally, right? Figuratively, in so many words, it does that a lot.
right.
Oh, how about this archetype here? Do you really think that's healthy? Would you like to meet that kind of girl in the real world? Like a girl who falls in love with you, and then she's so much in love with you that she doesn't want anybody, she starts obsessing with you and doesn't want anyone around you? Do you think that's healthy? Do you think it's healthy for her? Do you think it's healthy for you? So these topics are interesting, right? The question is interesting. but that's where it ends. It stops right there. It does how it's delivered. It doesn't earn it. It doesn't talk. It presents some questions. It doesn't elaborate on them.
So, do you not to be total devil's advocate here, because I have no qualms about defending this game, but do you think maybe you're missing something since you haven't played a lot of visual novels, and maybe you're not getting some of the subtlety or some of the jabs that it's offering?
No, first of all, I shouldn't have to play other games to enjoy the one I'm currently playing, right? It should be the job of that game to either capture my attention or tell me what it's trying to tell me. And I'll give you an example here. So if anybody really wants to play Doki Doki, I'm going to give an example similar, not about Doki Doki, so it might work for some people or not, but skip a minute ahead. Let's say all four of us here are starting a podcast, right? And we're all having a nice conversation. We're talking. We all get together, and I'm flirting the fuck with Teddy, right? So Teddy and I are flirting back and forth, and we're playing together. We're spending time together. We're touching one another on the shoulder. Hugging here and there, and it's very, very flirtatious. But you've been my friend for a very long time, so every time we go to the podcast together, I walk with you, and we're good friends. I've known you a very long time. Friend zone, right? And Teddy and I, man, we're getting hot and heavy here, just with the flirtation. So my attention is in Teddy, and the game is showing me the exchanges between Teddy and I, right? So my full attention is in there. And then as we're walking back and forth, all of a sudden you decide to tell me that you have a big issue. Oh, Leo, I have a big issue. This, and that. So, and then the game gives you a choice. Do I friend zone you? Or do I confess my love to you in case I'm thinking that might going to be helpful to you because you just told me something really bad? So that's a choice. And then once I make that choice, irregardless of what the choice is, can I say this here? Like you go and commit suicide, okay? You go and commit suicide. Shocking. But the whole time, I was really paying attention to Teddy. The whole development was between Teddy and I. Why should I care that you killed yourself other than I'm a decent person and you killed yourself? It carries no weight. It didn't earn, my grief, basically. And that's just one of the things that happens over there. So that's why it's shocking because, oh my God, you're reading a visual novels with cute anime girls and one committed suicide. She killed herself.
Yeah.
She might have had a few lines before that happened. Like Mr. Mercedes, right? From what's his name? Big author here. Come on now, Leo. Fungu. Anyways, Mr. Mercedes, the book, the whole intro of that book, he spends all this time building this character, and then he fucking kills the character. And you're like, what the fuck? You just spent this whole time building this guy up, got my attention, and you killed him. He earned that, right? I was like, wow, this guy, just like he talks about, he killed his darlings. So now you really got my attention. Now I'm invested in this book. This guy knows how to write. Don't give me 5 missing lines. Don't make me spend my whole time talking to Teddy and then kill somebody else and pretends that I'm supposed to care about it.
I just want to say, if anybody wants to make the Button Mapper visual novel now, I give full consent.
Anyways, I've taken too much of your time. Sorry, apologies.
Wait,
that's just one straightforward example. This doesn't even begin the deconstruction of the game in itself. To me, the biggest sin is that it's boring, right? Visual novels, since it is reading in book, the writing should be good. The first part of the game, it's a loop that repeats itself. You wake up in the morning, you walk to school, you talk to the girls, you read each other poems, which you're supposed to write them, but you just pick letters, which has a meaning for the game, but there's no good writing. You're not getting anything out of it, out of the other than the experience in itself, other than being like, oh, it was so unexpected, it blew my mind, and that's it. It's vapid. It's super vapid.
I agree. The game's a gimmick. It exists purely to try to surprise you and subvert expectations. It doesn't have anything actually interesting to say.
Oh, have you played it, Alex?
Yes, I have. Okay, I haven't played. I've experienced it. I'm not paying money for this, but I've watched others play it.
Okay.
All the way through, which was interesting. Seeing, it's a visual novel, so even if I'm watching somebody else play it, I'm still
It's the
experiencing it in
same.
some
It's
format.
not like
Yeah,
you're playing it. You're pressing A to read
yeah.
lines.
So even then, I still experienced it in some way, and yeah, I could just say it just feels like a gimmick. It feels like this is the game you're like, oh hey, you need to play this because you just want to, like, I don't know, freak them out or something. Actually, it's beyond that. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna look back at this game in 10 years and be like,
Right? Like Alex,
Doki Doki
the second girl
Literature
who
Club.
kills herself too, right?
Yeah,
She had all the time in the world to kill herself. She decided to do the moment that everything that she wanted it kind of happened for her. It's like I said, it's so badly written, so unearned. Actually, both girls do that. It's like, oh, I've loved you my whole life. Oh, I love you too. Oh my god, you should have told me that you love me because now I feel that I don't deserve that love.
Sounds
I
awesome.
mean, really? I mean, can we at least get one in first?
yeah.
Know anything about the author, the writer?
So, I got pissed about that too. So for the true end, so after you go through the events, you get a letter in the mail, right? And then the letter pretty much explains what happens. Like, oh, this girl had depression her whole life, this and that, and because of this choice that happened. So when you get the normal ending, then one of the protagonists in the story, right, shows you her letter, so you understand what happens there. The true ending, the author writes you a heartfelt letter that he's so much in love with visual novels and gamers, and he wants to broaden the horizon and expand, and he loves games that have a new proposition and show something new, and thank you very much. Only people who would spend so much time playing a visual novel would get the true ending. So thanks for your efforts and everything. So it's one of those guys, like in Brazil, we call this mulher de bêbado. Like, it's an addict's wife, basically. Like, the guy comes home all drunk, beats the shit out of you, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So basically, the game beats the shit out of you first, and then the end is like, "Oh, I love you so much. Thank you so much for what." It's like a boogie video, right? It's bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And at the end, it's like, "Oh, I love you guys so much. I wouldn't have a channel without you guys." Depression,
Yeah.
depression. Oh, but I'm so happy to have you guys. I thank you so much. Pretty much that.
Learned. Terrible. Oh man. But kids talk about it, I mean, I work in a school setting and they know, like they're aware of it. And back to Spencer's question about it being like a first visual novel. What visual novel have kids played? So this is probably the first. In some ways, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing if it introduces them to a genre that they may not have been
Oh no,
accustomed
this
to
one I have
before.
3 kids, bro. This one is completely irresponsible because not only does he not earn it, once it presents you the situations, the way it deals with it, it's awful. Like, there's cutting in this game, right? But the cutting is
Right.
seen as something good, as something that is fulfilling, that it's used as something positive for her. There's no negative effects for the cutting. There's no there's no consequences until it does have one. You understand? Like, it at least not that. If you're gonna present stuff that is this heavy, it can't be done in 30 minutes, in an hour.
Mhm.
At
Yeah.
least in my opinion. I'm not a developer. I didn't do this game, right? The guy way better than me and everything, but that's
No
just
commentary on the horrendous act of
no.
cutting
Everybody know,
or
like,
things like that.
supposedly friends know about it, and they don't do anything. The
Mhm.
girl who's doing it, it's basically almost like she enjoys it.
Could that count as some form of commentary, almost the normalization of these things in the game?
Nah, I think it's
No,
just there
because
to
there's no
be.
commentary.
Yeah, I think it's like just
We
supposed to be
we so
shocking.
unless like a good classic book that you read, and then the actual good portion of reading the book is that you do a round table here, like we're doing now when we're discussing it. In that sense, yeah, it's very positive. But we're not discussing the heavy issues, right? We're discussing how bad the game is,
Hmm.
in my opinion. But if you want to bring that as an introduction, it's like, oh, at least this game starts a conversation, then yes. In that sense, it would be positive. If it starts the conversation and then people do go down in that conversation, people do go down that lane, I could see a positive view in that sense over there. As a game, it sucks. As a conversation started, then it's a good thing. Now, are you looking for a conversation started, or are you looking for a video game? I'm almost 40. I got 3 kids. I'm not using this to go talk to them. I'm using this as entertainment for myself. So this, I am not the target audience. Perhaps that's the problem with me. But I also don't think that, younger kids without a, I don't know, proper, I'm not even going to say household, but proper support
Yeah.
should be looking into this to learn anything from that whatsoever.
Yeah. Understand that.
I like a good bulimia story.
What's the last one you had?
No. Let the silence just ride out for a minute.
Talk to us about your bulimia story. Video game.
No, they should just make one. I don't have one.
They should just make one.
Jerry the Bulimic. That's the game I want to play.
It's a platformer.
Yeah. Just hops around.
You just get weaker each stage.
Yeah. He's barely making it.
Wait for the sequel, Doki Doki Dysentery Club. Oh man, wow! I would never have picked that, so I'm glad you did. Thank you, Leo.
Yeah, good game.
I know. I beat Metroid Dread 2 days ago, and I hear talking about Doki Doki Literature Club.
It's all right.
What
I
game
think
of the year
if we
material?
do any more Metroid videos, I think Terry's going to actually burn down the channel.
Get it off my chest, all right?
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.